get access to the backline if we value leave Valkyrieing forward. But this is now, I mean, a really big burden of execution for NIP, where they have to get a bit of a snowball going in the early game. Because if they don't and they fall behind, they're just going to engage into death immediately, as the Ryze can scale up, the Lucian not going to be afraid of dashing out of danger, and I think the Wukong as well with that Cyclone going to be able to provide a good amount of disengage. So NIP want to get the ball rolling, want to try and make some semblance of plays early on before LGD eventually get to that side lane and to that 1-3-1 as well, importantly for LGD, where Ryze and Jax in a side lane probably going to start to take over.
I'm glad you brought up that side lane threat, because that is what stood out to me the most. And while there are some very fair worries for this NIP composition that you pointed out, the scaling, the side lane inefficiency to really stack up against LGD, I like that, knowing where our tier teams are at, looking at their records, factoring that into the draft. NIP are playing a comp that is going to look to be aggressive, skirmish heavy, and snowbally. A team that's playing as good as NIP are up against any team that is an EDG, you got to be excited for that, knowing that they're playing with the confidence, looking to come out game one. Took away his chance at the play-ins. It's always a big stake in the series. He knew a flash would have to be given, and now he's going to flash forward with level 2 nearby. Savior, a couple more autos. Leave has a barrier, but one more auto from the birthday boy himself. Going to grab first blood, and the flash out from Savior means the LGD do not trade themselves back first for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
And actually, I'm quite happy to see LGD take this. I think that this is something that I've been missing from teams, is that when these lane swaps come through, we're not seeing appropriate advantages taken. So frequently, I think it should just be quite easy to take the dragon with your bot laners, having prio down there, and it's so infrequently done. Sasa, though, looking to be pressured on this top side. Remember, the Vi level 5 has got that CC as solo kills just in 6.
Yeah, I mean, YCX is nowhere near here. Savior completely out of position, and now the dive's going to come across on Sasa. They're going to teleport out from YCX with that spell book, so he's going to cover the dive, but again, should have never sacrificed Savior on the bot side.
No, and I guess the theory here from Savior is, well, my jungler's nearby, he can come and help me, but Climber was committed. If he wants to join and if NIP want to really contest.
Level 6 up for leave here. Bold AD carries having small breaker into the pop loss, but they're going all in. And up here driving onto Climber, and there's no way for LGD to get in the pin. Even with the Galio threat ultimate, that's exactly the snap engage you want to see out of NIP.
Yeah, everybody's just terrified, unfortunately, from LGD, right? Their composition not necessarily the greatest at going for those engages. They want to be set up. They want to be able to...
CW going to look for the collapse. He's going to flash into the room prism, but it doesn't get the snare, only the snow. So luckily YCX is a double stun layered. DOINB as well. No mana, no way to help Nayo out, and the Vault Breaker is going to be canceled by the birthday boy, who desperately and is going to gift the kill over to Savior. YCX is willing LGD, even in this game, all across the map.
Yeah, and a little bit too much there from Nayo, especially when he can consider that if he'd have just played a little bit safer, he's got his own able to continue to find advantages as XQW, no flash.
And this is what you want to see, using the Vi across the map to punish these side lanes. And how great is that they're able to get the kill on the solo kill. And now up over 1,000 gold in this top side for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
And this is what we're looking for out of NIP, is to put gold into the Gwen. We highlighted in the draft that they may look to put a lot of gold into Leave. Well, actually, the Corki, not your super late game scaler. Who have we got in the game that's going to do that? Well, it's the Gwen, and actually Solo Kill now finds his second kill. He's going to get solo first brick on the top side, and he should now be able to be very propelled into this mid game. We've got a dragon that is now live. I think that by the grace of NIP, they're going to get a little bit of trading in the mid lane. Now they're looking for solo kill.
Yeah, you can just use the Realm Warp to bring a 1 versus 3 into solo kill, and they're committing all these ultimates to try and kill off solo kill, but he nearly and should not find that trade, but boy, it got close. And now Nayo is going to cease and desist commit on top of Sasa with DOINB here as well. He's going to commit the hero's entrance, gets the knockup, should be able to layer the taunt, and we trade both of our top laners out, but that is more of a win for LGD on this half.
It is. Getting the shutdown on the Gwen is actually really important, and I think that really good...
Knocking this Gwen down over and over, it's going to get a lot harder to kill off that Gwen, even 1 versus 3 by this point. NIP, though, in current time are going for a Rift Herald that LGD are looking to collapse on. No top laners will teleport except for Solo Kill. If he wants to join this, NIP can't get a 5 versus 4, but DOINB is going to go right after XQW, gets the taunt, and now everybody else for NIP commits. A Pop Blossom onto 2. Nayo on the back line as well. Solo Kill's going to TP in, but it's Climber to secure the Herald, but can he get towards the eye? Because NIP are cutting off his escape angle, and they're going to take YCX down with him. Flash taunt comes across from DOINB. Even Climber will not survive. Sure, you smite away the Rift Herald, but you come away with nothing.
And you're empty-handed as well. You get the smite, you get the XP, but you don't get the bonus from taking any turrets. Yes, the tier 1 on this bottom side will fall. It's going to be a bit of gold into Sasa, but I do think that for LGD, that's probably the weakest area.
Ball still needing time with the Roa and the Seraphs. These ults, the Vi ult, the Nico ult, the Galio ults, they all can really layer a low-range CC composition from LGD that right now is going to try and take up this dragon. They do get over to Ocean Soul Point. Coling's going to come down on the lead, but there's the Galio coming through with the knockup to stop Sasa mid-dash. Nayo's going to go down alongside Niket, though, so it has to be Solo Kill with this needlework, getting rid of these low health bars. Leaf can't get close enough, and they're going to realm warp about 10 feet forward, but it's enough to get LGD all on the same page and allow for Savior to push out the damage. Flashes, executes onto Solo Kill, and now it's just DOINB and Lee with no way out and no way to trade any of those blinking health bars.
Completely against the run of play. It's 3 kills for LGD and the Dragon. NIP just sleeping at the wheel here. We highlighted that they should be looking to take fights around the next Dragon all those minutes ago. Chain loading overloads into him. It's not a fight that he's going to win.
But here we go, the pick potential. Savior, great dash, get out of the hero's entrance, and Sasa again marking Nayo, but the flash fall breaker with the taunt layering, that gets Leave enough time to put the damage down, and Savior's gonna drop off the map. Nothing really on the top side for LGD to bleed over, but again, picked off at the wrong point.
And it is really disappointing. This is so frequent from Savior, and now YCX in trouble as well.
Yeah, he gets caught out of his crash down. He's got a flash, but the flash after him, Niket gets the double Pop Blossom into the Tanglebark root. Double TP's coming across, but Sasa's not coming into a happy party. He is coming in late to the shebang, and he's going to have to flash dash himself back out. Realm Warp to backpedal even further from LGD, and now with 2 grubs, NIP can knock down the mid-turn, and look what
Rise needs to get out to safety. And Sasa TP's in, he ends up getting almost obliterated. Thank you, Climber, for being able to walk in for a leap strike. But LGD, again, just as we start to praise them for doing so well and doing something positive, it's NIP that bounced back.
You know what we're doing? The easy takeaway we can have, no matter what these two teams have done in Game 1, it's just grouping a lot of things. It's frustrating, but boy, is it entertaining. You want to know what's even more entertaining? A 23-minute Ocean Soul threat from LGD and Octacon just a couple paces away.
Yeah, Climber, you can see sniffing. I think that NIP doing a pretty good job at routing the Wukong for now. Sasa.
Oh, but they're engaging. There's Climber, but he goes for the knockup on a Niket. He doesn't have any support, so he actually has to bow out of this fight. That's the Cyclone down already. And
this is not winnable anymore.
Yes.
They've just wasted Wukong engage. It's no ulti on the Climber as well. If he goes in, it's a one-way trip. Maybe sacrifice him to try and find a steal. Sasa still has flash, so he might be able to look for an engage on a flank angle. Look at the Jax flanking.
He's got to go now, though, if he wants to stun Nayo to get Climber in here. But the Pop Blossom is going to grab 3 members on top of the cease and desist over onto Climber. The hero's entrance not going to get the kill, but it doesn't matter because Climber flashed into his own death. Sanso's looking for the trade onto Niket, but that's just the support. The whole kit and caboodle going over to NIP with 1 more Vault Breaker. Savior has a couple dashes left, but just a ticket towards the Death Realm. Ace over to NIP.
With the Pop Blossom. Stops Climber from getting in, stops LGD from taking the soul, and secures NIP. Purchase in this game, secures them the Atacon as well, after another Goliath fight.
We talked about it, this bottom lane was brewing for a big swing in this game. Boy, if NIP knocked it out of the park here. You called it out, the Atacon, they stopped that win con for the next 5 minutes.
They're going to have in the late game, but when we look at these 5 versus 5s, it's not necessarily as good as what NIP have got to offer. So if we keep seeing these skirmishes around the 5 versus 5s, you can just keep expecting to see NIP come out on top. If they execute on their game plan and find those engages, NIP can just dive forward, pick out a target, take them down. XQW has got flash available, but I think you still get chain CC'd between Violty, between Nico knockups and everything, that you can expect to see NIP force around these objectives. Now TP's coming in, it's a YCX spellbook. but we're waiting to see what those side lanes can do for LGD. Now, XQW can't actually play on side.
Gosh. It's a double engage on the two opposite sides. It's Climber that's get jumped. It's the pop loss from the cat to hold the rest of LGD at bay. But NIP don't want to take a fight on two fronts. They've now used all their engage. Lee's going to have to dash out. Here. Cyclone goes down. They're going all in for Nio, but solo kill. Look at him on the top side of this fight, holding 3 members of LGD at bay, and he's just going to take one down with him. Solo kill diff for Ninjas in Pyjamas in game 1.
And Sasa Climber going to the backline. They can't find access. The complete spread from LGD gives them no chance in that fight. And now solo kill. We saw this at level 6. Are we going to see it again later on?
Doesn't have the needle work, but Xavier is playing a dangerous game. Nonetheless, it's just a distraction from solo kill. It's going to be Baron onto all 5 members of NIP as they are going, no matter who they are going against.
As we see with that Baron buff in tow, the side lane priorities of LGD completely minimized. No real chance for them to get any access to these turrets to try and take anything down. And we highlighted him in the pre-show for a reason, that solo kill 4.2 thousand gold up over his counterpart. Looking on these side lanes, solo, able to take these tier 2s. You can see Climber lurking in the wings, attempting to see if there's a timer to engage, but ultimately LGD have to sacrifice that tier 2, and Leave with the blue wall doesn't spot it. They gotta go
now if they want to, but leave, dash, and flash. Perfect, and now they
oh no!
XQW! What? You can't commit to that realm warp once everybody gets out, and now it's just a disaster. NIP smell blood in the water, and they're gonna hunt for it. Diving after Savior, solo kill, doesn't care about turrets. He just cares about snipping away at his scissors on any LGD member that gets too close for comfort. Sasa stasis, not gonna matter. Solo kill is gonna grab himself another kill for NIP, and they're just gonna wrap this game up with a neat little bow at about 29 minutes.
The LGD handshake once again as XQW throws his life and throws game 1. As it's NIP secure themselves the win here. Start off this series as they mean to continue. Game number 1 to the Ninjas.
In classic Nirvana fashion, it may have not
even... This is a really good dive AD. The adaptation that you've seen from teams, or that I've seen from teams as well, is that they will take the Jhin. He might not be able to dive with you, but he can provide support. And for NIP, this is now about what AD carry can go fishing, can go and find that aggression with the rest of the squad. We're seeing a couple of hovers here that do make sense. I really like the idea of Azeri. I don't mind the idea of a Neela-Alistair bot lane duo either, especially versus a Jhin. I think that's got a lot of control in the laning phase. The Zeri gets locked in for Leave, so this is now all about the Leave show. We've got Zeri, we know this champion can pop off. The OG pop-off AD carry, really, where we get these pentakills time and time again. And now, with Leave having those tools in his back pocket, it's going to have a difficult laning phase, I will say. I think that versus a Jhin, the Zeri definitely gets out-traded and can be bullied if Savior plays the game well. And we've already seen LGD actually punish NIP's bot lane in the 2 versus 2. But as we get later and later into the game, I'm looking at ways to kill this Zeri. Rakan going to be quite difficult to get on top of her. The Azir shuffle can be dashed. Xin Zhao, very short range. The Udyr can get kited out as well. It's going to require LGD to be very concise in their engages. It's also going to require DOINB and Niket to be AFK when they go for them.
I really want to highlight that Udyr might have their fans behind them to support them as we hit the rift.
敌军还有30秒到达战场，碾碎。
I fear that the LGD fans may be dwindling in the building.
Without getting hit by a micro stun, which secures the seismic shove. So he's adapted in that instance, but I will say, okay, flash forward.
Yeah, and hey, the Weaver's Wall, just like that, DOINB's here, the Grand Starfall as well, out of nowhere. XQW is routed, surrounded on all sides by 3 members of NIP, and, well, I knew they were going to punish the flash was Azir, but I wasn't ready for it to be that quick.
And this is why I highlighted that I'd like to see some semblance of mobility.
Oh yeah, that's a great point, actually. Yeah. Thormail gives a ton of AD.
The base damage from the Udyr, and you get to see a little bit of why I think in the mid game this Udyr is going to be a massive threat. I worry about the late game stages where it can begin to get kited out. If we see a Rylai's come through from DOINB, if we see some sort of any real kite capability from Leave, this Inzao will struggle. So we'll keep our eyes on how well it looks to get through the laning phase, but especially with Ghost available to Leave in the late game, Yasudia are probably going to struggle quite significantly.
As we swap back our lanes, and Nayo comes away with the Dragon during that timer, and Niket is still making sure XQW is having a bad...
As well as you look through what it is that LGD wants to do this game, we highlighted that. Okay, never mind.
Here we go.
Goodbye.
That's exactly what we talked about. If you're a little too far up in your lane, bam! Pantheon on top of your noggin. Dragon. Because on the bot side, Nayo says, all right, this is free now, and we can get on to that second Drake. Leave just has to be a bit careful as the Ghost is spot by YCX, but Leave, maybe a bit uncharacteristically, gets himself back to safety, and now the turn comes out in XQW. The entire pack has left him, and that means the Predators can jump on top of him, looking to snatch up their prey. But XQW is making it a bit of a problem. Another cycle of spells will do it and ail it for DOINB to find the feats of warfare.
And just barely LGD are able to convincingly take this away. So they are down 1,000 gold. DOINB's basing, he's got teleport, and you can see NIP, Leave at the very least, is posturing aggressively. He wants to get in this fight. Pops the ulti now.
Lightning Crash, curtain call. They're going all in for Leave, but the bullets aren't hitting their mark. And Sasso's going to flash top Leave. Climber as well. Everyone chasing Leave down, and they're going to find that kill. But what did they give up on the back end of that? They lose.
Time on the Xinzao as well, and XQW once again.
Yep, okay. Good Emperor's Divide. Public Execution is down for solo kills. They couldn't go for that snap engage, but the cat is roaming. Gonna make this a 3 versus 2 double knockup. And hello to Leah popping out of nowhere. It's the global presence NIP's comp brings in. Solo kill picks up both of the kills.
And just a refusal to acknowledge that Talia has an ultimate ability. It's so infrequently used for combat that they just think it can't be used in its true stages of this game, because the Ambassador already showed up, found a couple of kills. I'm waiting to see what the UDS can be able to do.
Deadly Flourish. Unbreakable Will is the answer. When it becomes lightning,
Nayo
shot isn't going to have enough. Does if you dodge it.
The Ambassador just runs at the same speed and dashes up to you again, so...
Oh boy.
It's pretty tricky.
Wait,
oh no!
What's that TV out? Okay, save
Flash,
XW.
yeah.
All right, now I know who's getting spam pinged. In this game, it's definitely Niket who leaves, or YCX who left XW to die, and LGD are trying to engage 4 versus 4. The Breakable from Pantheon not going to block all that damage. YCX doesn't even end up getting out.
That we should praise them for their ability to capitalize on LGD making these plays. We won't define them, we'll just call them plays.
Okay.
As Solo Kill's able to take the tier 1 turret down on the bot side, the Dragon will be secured as well. And it's all going NIP's way, or at least posturing for it, as Nayu's just sat here tossing spears at XQW to see what sticks. Which honestly is low-key based.
Oh, yep. There's the Weaver's Wall, and it's only YCX, but he's going to turn and re-engage onto Niket, who gets a ton of CC down, but the Rakan is a lot less tanky than that Ornn, with Unbreakable Will. Nayo actually protecting him, is able to walk away from the 4th shot.
Not this time, says Nayo. I'll help you out here. And they do defend their tier 1 turret in exchange for their Rakan's life. You do actually get to see a little bit of why people take the Alistar into the Rakan, or why hard CC is so good into the Rakan. YCX this whole time is spamming his E, but he's just knocked up, flicked back, CC'd by Pantheon, CC'd by Alistar. There's everything and the kitchen sink being thrown at the Rakan, and if he can never use any spells, he can't battle dance back out to safety. And the power of the Alistar there really showing it and giving its worth. So it looked like Niket was the one caught out under the turret, but he pops Unbreakable Will to free himself of the CC and instantly able to find a knockback.
Sasa not going to be fine, because guess what? Again, all of the ninjas pop out of the shadows and make a 2v1, a 4v1, just like that. We'll see maybe now if NIP feel comfortable turning onto the Otacon. They do have a Dragon spawning bot side in about 30 seconds.
Brush. LGD.
Rudu, there's a new brush.
XQW,
it's the furthest one back. It's happening again. The nightmare continues for XQW. Oh, the exhaust, I think, is going to ruin it. That was nearly a great outplay. He falls again. 0-5, and NIP are really the ones to blame for that scoreline.
Yeah, the sad thing is, oh, hold on, they found Niket.
Niket, Unbreakable Will. is broken. Nice crit shot. Curtain call opening up here from Savior. Nayo's got to flash around some of these bullets, but he gets slowed, charmed, and there's a second one. Solo Kill is TP'd in. Can he get on top of these carries? They have to get towards Savior as the Octagon is getting assist of the year. But the Polyas usually comes across from Solo Kill, gets on top with 3 members to flick back onto Climber. But Solo Kill goes after YCX, gets the first kill. Leave has the Ghost popped along with the Lightning Crash, trying to get the Lethal Temple stacked up as they sacrifice Solo Kill.
4 seconds.
Trying to wait for it to come up. There it is. Now he gets over the wall. Leave is going after all of LGD, and he's making it their problem. Boom goes the dynamite. NIP Leave has arrived to the game, folks.
And he was just biding his time, Slayer, waiting for that ulti to come back up, waiting to be able to... Likely that Leave will be able to stay the course and manage.
Weaver's wall. Cuts Savior off, but also cuts XQW off as he falls for a 6th straight time. And now the rest of LGD are scattered, trying to backpedal desperately away from the rolling choo-choo train that is NIP. Gets a little bit slowed off the tracks by Solo Kill missing the public execution, but the Grand Starfall cuts off all escape angles. Climber, can you survive long enough as Nayo actually does not ward over the wall? I thought he was going to ward and stun, and Climber gets out. We now flash mid lane where YCX is just protecting Savior, but with nobody dropping for NIP, even though they don't kill off Climber, why not turn your attention towards the big purple worm?
Yeah, and with the Zeri to boot, it's going to go down very, very fast as there are teleports available for XQW when he respawns in 10 seconds.
Climber, you shall not pass. Crescent Guard sure to block some damage. No way to get the crit shot onto the Baron secured, and now Naket gets another 2-man headbutt and a pulverizing blow onto Climber. 2 more kills gobbled up, and Leave. We're now LGD have kind of disassembled the 4 versus 1. Now they're snap engaging onto Leave. His flash comes back, but Sauce looking over the wall. Problem is, like we talked about, how can the rest of LGD even get close enough to get this kill onto Leave? It's just Sasa and YCX throwing himself to the wind, but now it becomes the wind as he's turned into dust, and the rest of LGD are looking like mincemeat as Leave turns his gun right onto LGD, and XQW just gets stunned, trying to dash in to save the game. Ace over NIP, dominating win once again as they'll move to 7-1 and keep EDG on their heels.
2-0 for NIP, a triple kill for Leave, and the Baron at their backs is going to signal the end of this game.
What a top 2 we have culminated here in Group Nirvana. EDG and NIP now, with this commanding win over LGD, definitely have to be on the radar of the bottom of Group Ascend.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that NIP are taking 2-0